Alright everybody, this is video 9 of my 98 Grand Cherokee 4.0 rebuild. Just picked up my engine from the machine shop just about an hour ago, and instead of me ordering a kit, they ordered it for me. So I'm going to go across what all comes in this kit. New head bolts from Felpro, new Engine Tech oil pump, timing chain, piston ring set, main bearings, rod bearings. And then here, just to show you, this is my camshaft, the factory one that I pulled out of the motor. Now you can see the wear on the lobe right there. Okay, this is one reason why when you're doing a rebuild, if you're going to replace your camshaft, you got to replace your lifters, because your lifters are broken into that wear right there. You put a new camshaft in and you put your factory lifters back in it, and you're going to either destroy your cam or you're going to destroy the lifters, and that you're going to run into problems with how your engine's been running. So if you're going to buy a cam, make sure you get new lifters with it. So, new cam, and it's got a break-in coating on it. You can see it's not how the bearing surface is. This is a break-in coating. New lifters. So before I fully assemble the motor, I'm going to make sure that these lifters slide nice and nice and easy in the block. Had my crank reground. Now, as I described in one of my videos, that they should put a marking somewhere on this that it's been ground. That way, if you ever take this motor apart, or your motor or whatever, you'll know, if it's been reground or if it's been remachined or whatever. Now, the only marking that's on this one that they put on is right here. AMI, and the job number. AMI is Auto Machine Incorporated in St. Charles, Illinois, and they put their job number on. So if I bring it back to them, all I have to do is look that number up, and that's already in their system. They already know what they did. Now on here, it says the rods and the mains, they took 10 thousandths off. Well, I just measured the mains on it. In all actuality, they actually took 9 thousandths off, which is okay, because it means they didn't grind as much off the surface. So when I go to put this back together with the new bearings, it's actually going to be a tighter tolerance, which is good because I'm going to be towing with this Jeep just a little bit. So the tighter tolerance you have in your motor, the better it is, for towing and stuff. So they ordered new pistons with the kit. They did the press work because these wrist pins are pushed into the rods. And if you really don't know what you're doing, I really wouldn't suggest doing it. Even me, being a machinist, I'm not comfortable pressing in pins, because you got to heat up the rods, and then you got to press these pins into a certain point, and you really got to know what you're doing. So I handed it off to these guys. Now, when I sent these pistons over, these were marked up in bags, number 1, 2, and so on through 6. Now what they did is, in the bottom of each rod, they marked it 1 through 6. So that way I know which cylinders they go back into. Like I said, it makes it easier when you bag stuff, and you can mark up the bags. Cylinders 1 through 6, valves 1 through 12. It just makes it really easy to go back together, and especially if you're handing stuff off to a machine shop, they know what they're working with. They know what they got to do. So, because of that, because of me marking this stuff up, they know automatically which way the piston's got to face. Now you can see there, it says .020, which is a 20 thousandths oversize, which means that the bore on my block has been bored out and crosshatched and honed 20 thousandths over. So this piston will match it size for size. So this is actually matched to cylinder 1 and then all the way through. So they actually matched all of these. So it's very important. That arrow there designates the front of the engine, because there is a front and there is a back on a piston. If you notice that the grooves in the casting is different from side to side, it's thicker over there, thinner over there, it's because of your valve clearance and stuff. So it's very important that you put this all back together right, and rods with the proper cylinder and so forth. Now I got the new piston ring set over there. It's also going to be going in it. So in the meantime, I'm going to cover this stuff up And I'm going to focus in on this. They bored it, honed it. You can see in here there's crosshatch, which means that there's cross hatching. And that's done by a specific machine that I don't have in my own machine shop. They've got new cam bearings in here, all the way through, all the way to the front. The new bearings will fit in here. These are your mains. And then down in here, I'm going to make sure that those new lifters fit perfectly in there. So in the meantime, they actually also put in new freeze plugs for me and new oil plugs all the way through the block, because there's some on the sides as well, I do believe. I can't remember. Yeah, there's one right here. So in the meantime, while all that stuff is sitting all covered up, oh yeah, also new gaskets. Make sure you have them. Go through it all, make sure you got all new stuff. I got new head gaskets. And anything that I've already used on the cylinder head rebuild, I'm actually just going to save it and mark it up in a bag so I can use it later if I have to. No sense in putting this stuff on if my stuff is already good. And the lower part of the engine. In the meantime, I'm actually going to strip this down. It's actually already cleaned. I'm just going to make sure it's fully clean. I'm going to tape it off, paint off what I want. I think I'm just going to do a traditional black on this. And in the meantime, get all the rest of the other engine parts. I've been busy at work, so I haven't had time to clean all the other parts, like I said. So I'm going to get all the other parts cleaned up, painted, ready to go. So hopefully within a week or two, I can actually get this back in my Jeep and break it in. So that is everything. Gaskets, new parts, pistons with new wrist pins, and a clean block that's been fully machined. And it's been redecked on the cylinder head surface. And all my other parts are sitting over there. I just got to get them cleaned up and ready to go. So thanks for reviewing, guys.